How y'all doing? Chris here again. Let's take a wee seat here. Out today in the sunshine at Harbour in Fife. Something I would never have done a couple of months ago. I've been far too scared of people staring at me, looking at me, feeling uncomfortable, sweating. I wasn't sweating, starting to get a little bit sweating, but that's because I filmed this about 4 times now, waiting for people to go past with their dogs and whatnot. Just out here with the wife today. She's just sitting on her phone, and yeah, really enjoying it. I'm glad it came out. I feel better for it. I just decided to go sit in the house, wasn't doing a lot, finished work for the day, and I thought, well, let's just go out and let's do it. If you don't, you always think, well, I'd like to do that, but if you don't actually do it, then you never will. Last week I was ill, so although the diet didn't take a hit calorie wise, I was mainly relying on microwave meals and whatnot because my wife was away visiting her sister. So back on the cooking again now. Quite enjoyed dinner last night. Nice healthy pasta dish. Last week, I better cover that, I got the wind noise, try and hide it from the wind. Last week lost, I think, 2 pounds. It's not the best weight loss I've had so far, but considering I was ill, considering I was having to eat, well, I wasn't having to eat microwave meals, but I wasn't feeling very well and I certainly didn't feel like cooking. Fortunately I'm over the illness. I had shingles. I've still got a little bit of rash on the back of my arm, but pain's gone, fever's gone, all the rest of it. Yeah, quietly chuffed at coming here. This is Dysart. It's I think 18th century harbour this. It was originally built for exporting coal from Fife, and it was used a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, in the Outlander series as a location. I believe they actually made it into a French port, Boulogne, but it was actually filmed here. Actually had a little bit of work on that. I'm a marine engineer, and one of the boats that they used, an old sailing ship, it needed generator parts and whatnot, so we did get a little bit involved with that. It's a lovely place. It's only 5-10 minutes from where I am. I mean, from where I'm sitting here, I can see right over the Forth. I'll just turn you around, I don't know if you can see it on this camera. There's hills over there, over the other side of the river. It's Edinburgh, and it's just a beautiful place to go. But normally when I come here, I'd get about as far as the car park, and I'd sit in the car, and I would just look out the window, maybe put the window down, maybe get out of the car and sit on the bench at the window. But the car park is way over there. You have to walk all the way around the harbour to get to it. It's not a ridiculous distance, and most people really think it's not silly far, but for me it's a start. It's I got here quite comfortably. As I say, I'm not sweating, I'm not out of breath, and you know, just goes to show, a bit of diet, doing the exercise bike every day, it's really paying off, you know, just that exercise and diet, and your fitness does come back, and you will lose the weight, and you will feel better, because I tell you, out here in the sunshine I feel really good. Got salt air, which I've not had for, well, I have at work, but just to relax in the sea air I haven't done in a long time. And I think it's important when you're on this journey is to try and rediscover the things that you do like, because a lot of the time that's what it's like when you're obese. You do hide away, you're scared of people seeing you, you sit in the car, you don't get out too far, you know. Like when I've been at work, I've never been bothered about people seeing me sweat, because I'm working on an engine on a boat or something, and I'm upside down and through a hole in the bottom of the boat, and you expect to sweat, and frankly your customers often like seeing you sweat. It shows that you're doing some bloody work. But social wise, and just when you're out walking, it's a bit different. And I think I don't know if I can't speak for everyone, but I certainly very self-conscious about it, very conscious about people looking at me and staring at me, whether they do or whether they don't. Although you do, when you're this size, you do catch people's eye, you know, you do see them looking at you out the corner of their eye, and staring at you, or at least trying to hide that they're staring at you. So you've got to forget that. You've just got to get on with it. And I think one of the most important things is doing stuff like this, coming out here, so that you remember why you're doing this journey. You're not just doing this journey to put on a smaller t-shirt or make it easier to find clothes, because you don't have to get them off some website for fat people. It's so that you can come out with your wife or kids or whatever and just enjoy yourself and get back to having an enjoyable life, a useful life, and a life that is worth living, which I think is what we all want. Anyway, we're going to have another wee wander, probably about the car, whatnot now, and go home and see about what we're going to cook for tea. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.